Okay, today we're going to talk about something pretty much everyone can relate to, the frustration of dealing with insurance. But we're looking at a new kind of AI that might, just might, make the whole process quick, painless, and maybe even helpful. Yeah, let's get into it. You know the feeling, right? You've got one simple question about your policy, or worse, you need to file a claim. And what do you get? Endless hold music, clunky websites, and chatbots that don't understand you. It's a massive headache. But what if AI could finally be the solution?
So let's start with the root of the problem. Why does everything take so long? Well, it's because insurance companies are just buried. They're dealing with a huge number of the same repetitive questions, day in and day out. All that manual work, it just leads to long waits, mistakes, and you guessed it, unhappy customers. Now you're probably thinking, wait a second, haven't they tried using chatbots for years? And you're right, they have. But there's a world of difference between those old bots and what we're talking about now. The old ones were rule-based. They followed a very simple script, and the second you went off script, they got confused. This new generation, powered by something called RAG, is totally different. It's context-aware. It actually understands what you're asking and can give you a real, accurate answer. So what on earth is this RAG thing? Well, it stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. But forget the jargon. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine a super librarian who has read every single policy, claim form, and document your insurance company has ever created. Instantly. When you ask a question, it zips through that library, finds the exact piece of information you need, and then explains it to you in plain, simple language. In seconds. No guesswork. All right, so now we have an idea of what this technology is. Let's move on to the really cool part. What can it actually do? For you, the customer, or even for the agents working at the company. What's in its toolkit? We're talking about a lot more than just answering simple FAQs. This AI can dig through your entire policy document in a split second to find that one specific clause you're looking for. It can walk you, step by step, through the entire claims process. And it's not just text. It can understand you when you speak, and even works in multiple languages. It's a real game changer.
So let's make this real. Picture this. You need to file a claim. Instead of hunting for a complicated form, you just start typing or talking, describing what happened in your own words. The AI then asks you smart follow-up questions, figures out exactly which documents you'll need, and helps you submit everything right then and there. It turns a process that could take hours into a simple 5-minute conversation.
Now this all sounds fantastic for us as customers, right? But let's be real. For this to happen, it has to make sense for the insurance companies. So what's in it for them? Let's talk about the business side of things, the bottom line.
This is really one of those win-win situations. For the companies, automating all those repetitive tasks slashes their operational costs. That frees them up to process claims way faster, which means you get your money sooner. And faster service means happier customers. Plus, having a system that's available 24/7, well, that's a huge bonus for everyone.
And the way this technology is sold is also really smart and flexible, which is super important for getting it adopted. Companies can just sign up for a simple subscription, or if they're a huge corporation, they can get an enterprise license. There are even models where they pay per interaction or white label options that let them put their own brand on the AI assistant. That kind of flexibility means companies of all sizes can get on board.
What we've talked about is already incredibly powerful, but believe it or not, it's really just the beginning. So let's look down the road a bit. Where is all of this headed, and what could the future of insurance actually look like?
The roadmap here is pretty wild. We're heading towards a future with automated claim adjudication. What does that mean? It means for simple, clear-cut claims, the AI could actually make the approval decision almost instantly. We're also going to see voice agents you can have a full, natural conversation with over the phone. And the tech will get way better at spotting fraud because it'll become multimodal, meaning it won't just understand text, it'll understand images and documents too. Of course, it's not all going to happen overnight. There are some big hurdles to clear. We're talking about incredibly sensitive personal data, so privacy and security have to be perfect. The insurance world is also full of complex regulations, and these AIs have to play by the rules. And then there's the simple, practical problem of plugging this shiny new tech into the old, clunky computer systems many companies are still using. So, when you put it all together, it leads to this one really interesting question. As this technology gets smarter, more helpful, and more human in the way it communicates, you have to wonder, will the next insurance agent you talk to actually be human? That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.